Yeah, yeah, yeah. Boom, roll up the green, hit the links with RGB. Pitch, putt, and puff, it's our podcast scene. Talking Burton bogeys, hole in one dream. Golf cart cruising, we're the illest team. Pitch, putt, and puff, light it up, hit the rough. Every swing's a story, we can't get enough. Hazards and hard times, we know it's tough, but we live for the game, fam, that's our stuff. Got my clubs in the trunk, blunt in the front. Tee off in the noon, cause we don't bunt. Discuss in the course, weed strains for lunch. Straight shooters on the greens, not a front. Pitch, put and puff, light it up, hit the rough. Every swing's a story, we can't get enough. Hazards and hard times, we know it's tough, but we live for the game, fam, that's our stuff. Smoking aces, laces tied tight. With a puff we fly, elevate the night. Golf ball soaring, higher than a kite. Fairway to heaven, shining real bright. Pitch, foot and puff, light it up, hit the rough. Every swing's a story, we can't get enough. Hazards and hard times, we know it's tough, but we live for the game, fam, that's our stuff. Yeah, boom, roll up the green, hit the links with RGB. Pitch, putt, and puff, it's up.
And welcome back to another episode of the Pitch, Putt, and Puff podcast. My name is Roger, aka RGB. Appreciate everybody tuning in here tonight. Before we get rolling with our guests, we got to give a shout out to a couple sponsors. First, we're going to start off with Transcend Wellness. Make sure you guys go check them out over 289 Oakwood Avenue in Troy. Pretty much everything you're looking for, flower, pre-rolls, edibles, tinctures, vapes, you name it, they got it over there, all set up in the wellness aspect of it. So make sure you pop in there, check them out. They also have a drive-thru available. You can place your order online at transcendwps.com. Drive right through, pick it up just like the bank. Also, you can pop in, and they have a delivery service as well. So Transcend Wellness, 289 Oakwood Avenue, the newest sponsor of the Pitch, Putt, and Puff. Also, we got to give some love to our guys over at Shady Shafts. Make sure you guys check out shadyshafts.com. Promo code PUFF20. PUFF20 will save you 20%. What Shady Shafts is, they have wraps for your clubs, your driver, iron, wedges, putter, doesn't matter. Customize it to your style. They have a design for every golfer, from the camouflage to the cannabis the cannabis flower with the smoke effect to, I believe they have like Hawaiian flowers, bunch of patriotic things as well. So go check them out, shadyshafts.com. Promo code PUFF20. PUFF20 will save you 20% at checkout. Also, the guys over at Back 9 Botanicals, make sure you check them out. TPUFF10 will save you 10% at checkout. These guys are the leaders in the CBD world. They got a giveaway going on right now. So go check that out on the Instagram page, giving away a dope golf bag. These guys have the Players Blend, the Birdie Boost, the Moonlight Mulligan, as well as the THC Shooters. These are great for any mixer, nice little 10 milligram boost to pour into pretty much any drink on a nice happy hour afternoon. So go check them out. TPUFF10 at TPUFF10 will save you 10% at back9botanicals.com. Going to take a quick break, and then we'll bring on our guest tonight. And we're back here on the Pitch, Putt, and Puff. Once again, my name is Roger, aka RGB. And joining me tonight is my man Jack from Golf Buccaneer. Jack, what's happening, buddy?
How we doing tonight? Thanks for having me on, dude. This is great. I'm pumped.
Absolutely, man. Came across your page just not too long ago. Pretty cool little project you're working on. We'll get into shortly. But before we do that, fellow New Yorker here, why don't you tell us a little bit about how you got into the game of golf, man?
Yeah. So actually, recently a new born again New Yorker. I grew up in New York, actually, in Westchester, where I am right now. But past 8 years, I lived out in LA, where I really got into like the kind of content. I don't know. I'm a small guy, so I like filming golf stuff. So that's really where I got into my golf game out there. But I learned playing with my brother because I'm a baseball player by trade, or by whatever you want to call it.
Right.
Played in college. That was my summers, and it was always like golf was right adjacent. Like if I ever had the chance to play golf, I was like, yeah, I'm going to play golf. And my older brother, was a really good golfer. So he would take me to the range, and it would be like little stuff like that. And then baseball got super serious for me. So, I'm traveling to Queens, Long Island, Pennsylvania every weekend for baseball. So golf really didn't come into fruition until about like I want to say like college, honestly, where it was
Okay.
like, what are we gonna do right now that's cheap? And saying that now, it's wild to say too. It's like, what can we do that's cheap and fun? We would just go golfing. I went to school in Massachusetts for 2 years, and then I transferred to school in Oswego. Go to New York, baby.
Yeah, yeah.
As you know, upstate, it's freezing cold up there, but in the
Oh
summers,
yeah.
it's beautiful. You know,
Right.
as it probably is up in Albany too. It's beautiful in the summer. It's terrible in the winter.
Bro, it's not. I get on my car today. It was 7 degrees when I hopped in the car. It's everything's ice. It just sucks.
Dude, I'm still getting used to like how cars don't start immediately in the cold.
Yeah, bro. You got to
I,
warm that bitch up for a good 15, 20 before you go out there.
it's like you can't have too little gas in the car, otherwise it's not going to start. It's just one of those things where just like, motherfucker.
Yeah, yeah,
Can we curse?
yeah. You can do it. So, yeah, you can do whatever you want, buddy. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's like, dude, this is why California has it right there. Just at least 50 degrees all year round. We're perfectly fine. Like, I'll get into LA in a minute, but yeah, just like I just played baseball all the time, and I just was. I mean, I'm pretty good. I played catcher. I played in college. Just couldn't hit the ball. Couldn't hit the curveball, as
Yeah.
probably most people in the world can't do.
Pedro Serrano.
Yeah, exactly. But I was a really good catcher, and I had an arm, so that's where I kind of just had my my bread and butter. But wasn't going pro, so
It's funny you say that though, like
gave that
how
up.
baseball turned into like a job basically for you at some point. Like where same thing happened with
dude,
me, man. In high school, it just turned into. I did the travel baseball, AAU basketball, and like from 13 to 17, 18, like I didn't have summers. My summers were baseball, basketball, baseball every other weekend, and there was weekends I had to choose which one am I going to, like which game's more important, kind of thing. And it just that was high school. That was the whole summer high school
Luckily
life.
for me, I kind of figured out like really. Well, my whole family figured out I can't run fast or long distance.
Okay.
So soccer was out for me. So like it was baseball is perfect. Basketball was good because that's a little bit shorter, but basketball is fine. But I just kind of stuck to baseball and football. But I was like, I don't fuck this. I'm not getting hit.
No, hell no.
I'm not getting smoked for nothing. So baseball was really it. And once that kind of ended, I realized like, fuck, this is a lot. Like I couldn't imagine like what a D1 player goes through.
Exactly.
Like a 4-year non-red shirt, just fucking relief pitcher.
Yeah.
It's every day. It's every day plus the schoolwork. I mean, I can't imagine how much schoolwork they do anymore. But like back in the day when we were in school, like you did your work.
Oh yeah, you had to.
And then you went to practice 5 a.m. runs, 12 p.m. lifts, and you're just like, what am I doing? I'm not going pro. So joined a fraternity, and then that's where like the real golf bug hit because there was a bunch of guys in the fraternity. And this golf course had like $18, 18 holes. Shout out
you
Battle
can't
Island.
beat that, man. That's
it was
awesome.
it was the best. It was awesome. I had got my brother's old club, drove them up, and was like, all right, this is all I need. I mean, I still got them today with a pair of Titleist DCIs from like 1994. Just fucking.
Hey, if they work, fuck it.
They were great, man. I mean, it's like if you want to learn how to hit a golf ball, you learn on like a pair of like a 90s club with no technology.
Yeah.
And that's how you really learn how to strike a ball, or at least learn how to hit the shot you hit. I only hit fades. That's one of my things is only fades. I'll send you some stickers. Like I made stickers for that looks like OnlyFans. I don't know what they are
okay,
right now,
cool. That's cool.
I'll send you some later.
That's cool.
But going into California, I moved out of college, moved from Westchester to California, and no one told me that one of the hardest things to do as a male in your 20s, moving to a new city, is meeting people.
Yeah.
Like you could go the way of the bars and just kind of like hang out and eventually you're gonna meet some people, but like it's after a while you start drinking alone at the bar. There's a problem.
Right.
So
right.
I joined a golf crew in out of Hermosa Beach. It's right below LAX in Los Angeles. It's like right on the water. Like pretty early on when I started, it was about 50 guys. It's headed up by this one of my good buddies. His name is Johnny Pearson. He started the West Side Golf Collective, and it was just like, hey, let's play tournaments. We have night golf near us, a couple of night golf courses. So it was always like a Tuesday meetup, hang with the boys, play a huge 10-guy scramble, birdies only, whatever, skins game, whatever it is.
Yep.
Just get together then there'd be a tournament every weekend. Not every weekend, every month, once a week, whatever the hell it was. Excuse me. Joint's already hitting.
That's all right, man.
Yeah, no. Once a month there'd be a tournament, by a handicap, so everybody was even, and that's just like got the bug from there, man. And it just like I kept playing and playing, and it turned into one of those things where it was like, when I'm not working or not working out or hanging out with my friends, I'm at the putting green and the chipping green, and I'm just there for like 4 hours a day in California, just having a great old time. And that's kind of what it was. I mean, the courses out there are incredible. And
oh, dude, I see it all the time, man. Those courses are beautiful out there.
it's really insane. And people just don't understand. California is fucking huge. And like the one thing, like a clear difference, obviously, like people will talk about is like the driving in LA versus like New York, just for the comparison in the city.
Right.
Like if I wanted to get from the Lower East Side to the Upper West Side, I could just take a subway, boom, right there. Maybe 30 minutes by subway, but it's fine. If I want to get anywhere in LA, it's an hour for like 5 miles. And
that's what people say, and I'm like, that's crazy. Why don't you just walk at that point?
You can't walk because it's actually like over a bridge under this and like over a highway, So, but once you get out of that, there's so many golf courses. And it's awesome. And like like any major city, if you catch it at the right time, there's no traffic. So one of the best things I loved about golfing in California is like waking up at 6 and you hit the 405 and you're just creaking with the sunrise. No one on, knowing you got like a tee time in Temecula, like 2 hours away, or Palm Springs, 2.5 hours away. And you're like, fuck yeah, I'm going to be hitting the tee. It's going to be 75 degrees and I'm going to have a great time. And I'll be back by the ocean by 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock.
Right. That's awesome.
And that's just kind of like how I've lived my life of kind of just weekend golf, go back, hang with the boys at the bar, do your thing, work. And then,
dude, that's awesome. Know what I noticed too? Like when I started doing this podcast thing, I'm linked up with a golf club out of California as well from the IE, the Legends Golf Club. So they're up in the Inland Empire. My man Mike runs it. It's probably just about a year and a half. I
feel like I've heard of them because I roll with a couple of guys out of Orange County, and they're in Orange County. You can like go deep into the inland too. So like, there's Others Club is one of the guys. Others Club is another thing. But there's so many.
There's so many out there. They have the Unprofessional Golf Club. That's my man Thick Gabagool. I don't know if you ever heard of him.
Oh, dude, I played with Thick.
Okay.
Tropicana. Yeah. I play with Trey. He's so fucking funny, man.
Dude, he's been on the podcast a few times. He's fucking great. I love the dude,
man.
Brian Athey, he's another one. Yeah, he does. He really does. Yeah, I've had like Brian Athey on here. I'm pretty cool with him. So I'm very connected out there in the California through the podcast.
It's so wild, dude. It's like I have a ton of friends who are like Sandy Parr, Brian Jones out of Newport. He's starting up a brand. Troy Aguila, who does Guap Meet, which is basically like this golf trade show where he just takes all of like I can't even like describe what these brands are called because they're not mini, but they're not like conglomerates like Sugarloaf. They're right in the middle of that happy spot. And he just brings them all together for a trade show and they just create content and it's great. I'll send you it after this
definitely.
It's like the creator community in California was incredible.
It's different out there. They work together too. Like was what I've noticed a lot. Like a lot of these guys collab up. Like the hat I have on right now, Custom Sticks. My man Paul, he linked up with 52 Sundays. Those guys go to all these events and they kind of do it together. But it's bringing eyes like all the time from different people to the brand because they're collabing on things and just getting a bigger audience for both of them. You don't see that out here.
It's because like that's one of the things is like I drove back from California like in my Kia all the way through the southern states, and it's like, what am I going to do when I get back? And it's like I've actually seen a couple of kind of golf leagues like we're talking about. There's it's like the Best Golf League that's kind of near you, actually, near like Goshen area. And then there's one like a Five Boroughs Golf down in Brooklyn.
Yeah, Five Boroughs. I spoke to him a couple times.
Yep. So just trying to figure out, I'm just freezing my ass off right now. So it's like, all right, well, I'll just because I'm from here. So like I have friends. So like that's not really my issue. It's more just like I don't know where to play yet. I don't know my home course yet. I haven't played here in such a long time, other than like the couple times when I would play in my charity tournament or when I'm back and my boys got a tee time. And I mean, I got some pretty lucky friends who are lucky enough to like play at some pretty sweet courses like Trump in Briarcliff or Hudson National in Croton.
Okay.
But so it's I'm excited to be back because like New Jersey, it's right there too.
Right there. Yeah. That's the same with us. Like we take advantage of Massachusetts, Vermont, like being up here. There's some nice
I would
mountain
love to play
courses and
Massachusetts
shit
more.
like that. Dude, what I'd love to have you if you want to make the trip up, it's literally probably the halfway point for both of us in the Catskills. I'm working something out to try to do something with Christian Wyndham down in the Catskill. They got 27 hole
Mhm.
course down there.
Okay,
So I'm looking
I'm
to
in.
bring
Don't say less.
all right, cool. Yeah,
If it
grab a couple of your
doesn't,
homies, man. I'm bringing the Pitch Putt and Puff crew down. We'll film some content and start
boom.
building something, man. Because
It, it,
I
it,
do have the Legends Golf Club in New York. Like I started a New York branch off of it.
oh fuck yeah, love
So I
that.
have the Legends New York. It's just like you're saying though, it's so hard in the wintertime to really do anything with it. Like I can't even get the Pitch Putt and Puff guys together. I got 50. So the Pitch Putt and Puff, we got 15, 16 guys. And every Sunday I got 3 tee times. We all get out there. Everybody throws up a couple bucks. We play our round. We all come back in. We pull a card, whatever you have. King, king, ace, ace, queen, queen. That's your team. Lowest score wins. There's no handicap. There's no nothing. Just straight up lowest score.
Ooh, interesting.
Yep. So then we also like I threw in skins this past year. So like for the certain guys who shoot, low 80s, but they get paired with the guys in the high 90s and they lose, they had 2 or 3 birdies. So okay, as long as no one else canceled it out, they get some of their money back.
Yeah, no, I mean we would play with my West Side group. We would play. We have like the first Top Golf with a 9-hole course attached to it. So they lit that thing up. So every Tuesday,
That's
we'd be
sick.
playing skins, and it would be birdies only too. So it was like it's a par 3. Like
Yeah, birdies are better. Yep.
birdies are better, but it's like par 3. It's still like you still got to make the fucking putt at night.
Yeah.
It's a par 3 course, so it's like I mean, the Top Golf did a great job with it, but it's not Augusta. They're not going to upkeep it as well as everyone else
Right.
does. So and
Night,
again, it's
night golf must be pretty sick. I've never played it. I'd love to see it happen around here somewhere. A nice
actually if you want to make a trip down to the Hudson Valley, this is actually it's a cool, fun, full circle moment for me. So there was this 9-hole course in Hudson Valley, right at the Jefferson Valley Mall, called Shallow Creek, and I played there. And literally my first golf memory ever is taking a hybrid and just absolutely thinning the shit out of it and killing a goose. Just absolutely obliterating it with my brother and dad. It was just like the funniest thing. So obviously, like, after a while, baseball came into play, like we said, and then I never went back. And then find out it's closed after like a couple of years. Now I come back, it's a new links style par 3 course called the Links at Valley Lodge or something. I just call it the Links at Valley, but it is awesome, and it is lit up at night now. I mean, not at now; it's fucking
right
now, but it's lit at
Shrub
night.
would it be in Shrub Oaks?
Yep, Shrub Oak. Yep, that's the one right there, and it's got the fucking bar patio situation going on too. So like, I'm super fucking excited to go there. And it's open year round. Like if there's no snow on the ground, you can go play it right now.
Those are my courses right there, man.
I've braved it a couple times, like going when it was like 35 degrees with a couple of FootJoy all weather gloves, but it's still just like I'm dedicated, but I gotta go inside.
Yeah,
I gotta find something to do that's still gonna get the itch going with me. But yeah, the Golf Buccaneer, as like we were saying with the content, it's like I don't really see a goal in this for me right now. I just like doing it because like
that was one of my questions for you. What's your future plans with it?
Oh
Like,
yes, I didn't mean to jump the questions. Yeah,
no,
but,
you're good. You're good.
I mean,
That's actually a perfect segue.
during like when I was playing with my West Side and my group, it was just like they loved watching me golf. And I personally, like, my friends think I'm a funny person. I personally don't, but you get me riled up, I'll say some funny stuff.
Right.
So I would put it on my regular Instagram, but then it would be the chicks being like, "Why do all you do is golf?" Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, all right, fine. Well, fuck it. I'll just make another golf Instagram. And I happened to be watching Tommy's Honor about old Tom Morris and his son. It's a movie. It's pretty good. It's a decent movie.
Tommy Morrison, the boxer?
No. No, Tommy Morris, old Tom Morris, the original greenskeeper of St. Andrews.
Oh, okay. I got you. I thought you were talking about the boxer.
No. Him and his son were like the fucking first 10 winners of the Open when it first opened, like back in fucking 1890 or whatever.
Okay.
But there's this scene in the movie where they're just saying him and his friends want to, because at this time there's no tour. It's like 1800s. So basically how golf works back in the day was rich dudes would back players and then they would go play. And then, if your golfer won, you would do it because they can't play. So his son and his friends are really good golfers. And they're like, oh, we'll just be Golf Buccaneers. Like, we'll go to England. We'll go to Scotland. We'll just take everyone's money. We'll play golf, pillage for the women and take their money at the same time. So I was like, that's a great name. So I just took that and kind of rolled with it. And I just started filming, whole vlogs and anything I kind of like, anything I wanted to do with it. But, every golfer's dream nowadays right now is, since COVID at least, is to become a golf influencer,
Mm-hmm.
So I never really wanted to be like, I'm going to be a golf influencer. I think, if someone likes it and thinks it's funny, great follow. But like, if someone wants me to promote a product, I'll absolutely do it. If you're my homie, absolutely. It's like, we talked for 10 minutes. Like, yeah, of course I'll come on the podcast, hang out with some guys who knows what they're talking about it, so never really had any goal with it. But now it's like,
well, now you got that you're doing the pouches, so you're kind of spinning a little.
Well, yeah, that's where I was leading into that. It's like kind of right now I'm in this weird situation in life where just the job market's terrible for me. So just I'm really bored and I don't want to be sitting around fucking smoking weed all day.
Right.
I'm literally in a basement right now. So I was like, I took a class in sewing in the 8th grade and I need new head covers. So like I hit up my aunt and she's like, yeah, we have 3 sewing machines here. So I said, come grab one. I went into there for her first night and it's made this horrible barrel cover. It was bad, but it was like, this is like all those guys this is what they do. They just sew. It's pretty easy once you get to do it. So yeah, I just started sewing because I was like, I need some extra cash. Golfers are crazy when it comes to that stuff. If they find a cool print, something funky, something they like, they'll buy it. It's Instagram too. It's and again, it's handmade, so whatever. I was like, yeah, dude, it's cheap material, so I can make a lot of stuff. So if you give me $50, you get a sack, you get I was making nicotine holders for Zins and Cigs and just random stuff. So it kind of just went from there like a couple months ago, and
it's different, bro. Like when I seen it, like
do something.
When I seen it, like that's the cool thing. Like my big thing too is when I'm on here and I'm looking for Instagram and I'm looking for a guest or just searching along, doom scrolling as I call it. Like I want to see something different. You know what I mean? Like because that's the thing in the golf world, being an influencer or being just a social media presence. Like you have to stand out. That's the whole reason I put the Puff in there. I could have been any type of golf podcast, but when I'm the Pitch Putt and Puff, okay, now here's a reason. Like this gives me an avenue I can go down and work on, like have cannabis guest on and do all that kind of thing and kind of be more of myself and like who the crew really is. Like that was the whole part of it. And then, but it's something to stand out. So like with you doing the pouches, I lost my train of thought for a second, but with you doing the pouches, you're kind of, this is going to be something for you to stand out. And then more people are going to click on the Golf Buccaneer page and start to see you play a hole with me and start to see that's exactly what I did,
Yeah, no, I really hope so. And like that's the other thing about moving back to New York was like we were just saying, California, so fucking sad. Like and again, there's like no shade to anyone doing this in California. It's like it's just so saturated. There's just so many of the same people, and like I'll put myself in that category too. When I was out there, it's like rocking the Malbon, rocking all like this stuff and that. It's like it's at the end of the day, it's like if you're not original, like a genuinely you, What are you doing?
Right.
It's dude, like, could you, like, I'm not like an example I've told my friends or used with my friends. Like I've met Bob from Bob Does Sports.
Yeah.
It's like, could you imagine being on like that character, like all the time?
No.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that's his personality a lot of the time, but to be out in public around and just be like that, like that's fucking tiring. Like
exactly.
And I would go through those stints where it's like, dude, I've filmed 9 holes in like 3 days, and it's just like I just want to play golf. Like I truly forget.
Same thing, film. Man. Yeah.
I forget the mic, or I forget. It's just like,
dude. Now what I try to do is
how the hell do these guys film 9-hole vlogs, edit it, bang bang, and it's like perfect cameras and quality's great. It's like I have an iPhone 15 or whatever the hell, but it's like it still doesn't look that good. So like it's frustrating as shit because like LA's got money and you can I'm not gonna it's
and that's the other
again,
thing.
not getting shady. It's just like fuck, it's so hard.
It's
like,
so hard.
I gave myself like 30 days one time to like film, like put out something every day. It was fucking hard, especially with like the there's the saturation of what everyone was doing the same thing I'm doing. So coming to New York, I'm excited to see like what the scene is out here too. Maybe there's a little bit more of an avenue now.
There definitely is, dude. Just because there's not a lot of people doing it. Like from what I see, like I don't see many people, like especially locally up here anyway, filming content besides like what we're trying to do. And like even with that, trying to film, I try to do it too. Like because we're playing for money a lot of times every Sunday. So yeah. I don't want to get in guys' heads like, oh shit, he's recording me. What if I swing? I look like an idiot, and he posts it kind of thing. So I try to put the phone, like stash it on the card or like. And just hit record, and like I always have my phone aiming at the guys, so they don't know when I'm recording and when I'm not. So it kind of now it's just like a natural thing. But like I'll sit there, I'll fuck with it, and like put it right at the tee box or whatever. Or like putting is kind of tough because I don't want to distract them, but I can edit the video to zoom in and do all that shit. But dude,
I'm the worst. I'm the worst editor when it comes to like those like when the zoom in shot when it hits the ball, it's the green. It's like how the fuck? Like I've done it a couple times.
It's so hard. It's so much time, dude. It's so much time.
It's like you see those how to on CapCut, and it's like they'll like and you're just like. You're not telling me, and again, like any person I mention, I'm not throwing shade at. I'm just like these are the people I say. It's like short game king. It's like you're not short game king. You're not telling me you're sitting on your phone on CapCut for.
He's not. Tyler's doing all that. So
no, yeah, there's behind the scenes people, but at first it's like fuck, this person was doing it like all the time, or like Esquire Golf. That guy, him and his girlfriend Nick's Golf. Like they're great. They crush content every day. I'm like. You guys have to be sitting down like for 3 hours a day outside of your day job, filming, and then cutting,
editing. Yeah, that's the hard part, man.
And I'm like, you know what? I just want to play golf.
Mm-hmm.
I want to, if someone sends me something cool in the mail, because of they think I'm funny or represent the brand, awesome. But I just want to play golf. And It's fun. It's fun to look back at holes, like especially right now. Like I'm looking back at my old videos, being like, "Oh, that's Balboa. Oh, that's Rustic Canyon." And it's like, "Fuck, I just missed those places." So
I just want to see the grass, bro. I just want to see grass.
Really do, man.
I just want to see grass. So much snow. But speaking of Short Game King, him and Carol got the Tequila at the Turn. They got that page there.
Oh yeah, yep.
And Ty, their video guy, I've had him on before. He's from Boston. He's super cool. Like he actually helps me out. Like I'm looking for a new camera, and kind of what you were just saying, like cameras and microphones, bro. That shit is not cheap. And then you go and get it, and it's like I don't know how to set it up the right way, and then I got to watch 4 hours of YouTube to try to figure it out. Like figuring out this whole podcast.
I'm not buying a Mac because like everyone I think like uses like whatever like Premiere or whatever or Adobe, and it's like I'm not getting a Mac. Like I got my computer. I'll just use my phone. So it's and then you fucking the most annoying thing is the storage on your phone.
Yeah. Constantly deleting documents
it's so annoying. So like I give props to anyone who does it, and then if you get to that level where you can give it to somebody else to do, props to you. Like
so what I do is I upload all the audio from my phone. And it's like every single time I upload it, as soon as it's uploaded, I got to delete the file. Then you forget it saves the file for 30 days. And then like storage is full. And I'm like, yo, what the fuck is on here? And I go back, I got fucking 16 hours of podcast in the thing. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Do you like for podcasting, do you use Opus Clip?
No, I've seen it.
I've thought about it. You have to use it. Have to.
Yeah.
Have to. Oh, dude,
check it out.
So, like, I did it just to see what it was like. So I made a TikTok page, just like a random TikTok page of just like interview highlights. Took a hour-long discussion between the dude who starred in Gladiator and Denzel.
Okay.
Fucking cut it up, 10 clip videos, and like one of them got 1,000 views in like 12 hours, and it was like I didn't do shit. And they put the captions in and like. If you got the money to use it, I would 1,000% use it. Like you wouldn't have to sift through anything. It literally just upload this video when you're done, and it would give you like the virality score of it too. So it's like this will go viral. That goes. It's same. Like saying, AI is coming.
Yeah, bro. I mean, the intro song, I did it. My buddy hooked me up with the link and said, "Do this." Boom, 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 and fucking 3 minutes later, we had a song. I was like, all right, I've been trying to do this for about a year now, and it took me 2 minutes with AI. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah,
It really is.
yeah. So I can't like I think I've seen too like actual AI edit a full just video, and it was just like
Well, they got like
for
Joe
everyone.
Rogan AI podcast is like a thing. Like they have a whole it's AI. It's an AI version of Joe Rogan. It's a
Oh, and
podcast.
it's is it given out by Joe?
No, someone else is
Oh
doing
God.
it. Yeah, so someone else is doing it, and it's in like the top 200 of podcasts. It's fucking crazy. It's gonna
Yeah.
take over, man, and that's the scary thing. We're not gonna know what's real and what's not pretty soon. It's gonna be that good.
Dude, check this. You talk you talk doom scrolling.
Yeah,
Get into
yeah,
that rabbit hole of AI stuff. It's not cool, but I mean that's why like it's funny too. It's like handmade goods, like not to segue back to the pouches, but or to get back to those or whatever we were chatting about. It's like that can't go away. Like people are
yeah.
always gonna want like handmade goods and whatnot. So I just started sewing, and I kind of found out I was kind of good at it, you know. So I just kind of kept going back to this little pins and needle shop in my town, and just kept talking to the ladies. And she's like, "Oh, what is it? What do you think of this? How does this look? How do you do this?" Because like the first couple of like all the seams were messed out and everything. Now I got, I learned how to do some actual like sewing techniques. So it's been a fun little thing, and I picked out like 4 random prints, and I've just been like crushing them, like the ones you saw in the video. It's just like
Yeah.
I'm making those to practice, and then I got a bachelor trip in a month to Myrtle Beach, and it's like, you know what, let's field test how durable these things are. I'm just gonna give them all to my buddies. I'll send you a couple too. I still have so much fucking material behind me
Yeah.
or in front of me that it's just like, yeah, I spend 5 hours a day doing this stuff, and it's fucking cold outside, go to work and back, and that's kind of what it is. But if
Hell yeah,
I've
dude.
gotten a couple sales, so it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, maybe I'll do this too on the side. So
Well, it's unique, bro. Like I
that's
said,
all it is.
especially if you can start to do like even bring it to like a custom side to where like you could do like something with like my logo, the Pitch Putt and Puff logo
Oh,
on it.
dude, that's what's funny. Like one of the ladies is trying to sell me on embroidery. I'm like, fuck, man. Like everyone loves embroidery. Like
Hell
so,
yeah.
it's like, why not just, if you make the business, make it a business expense type shit. Like I actually did get a big order in. Actually, my brother's friends have a bar in Norwalk, Connecticut.
Okay.
And they do a tournament every year, and they just ordered a big order. So we're going through samples right now with them. I got a couple in front of me right now that I've been like field testing. So it's like, if you can see, it's like a quilted pattern
Yeah.
inside. There's the other one, rangefinder in the white
There you go.
quilted with the
Yeah.
thing. So it's just like, I'm just having fun with it. And if someone likes it, like you said, even like with the content, it's like, yeah, I'll help you out, or I need something that's different. So that's kind of
Dude,
really what
that's a
the
good
goal is
idea
right
for
now.
tournaments. I didn't even think of that. Like a nice little something to throw in the giveaway basket for a tournament, because that's something I plan on doing this summer, is having a pitch putt and puff tournament where I'm gonna have like different vendors set up at the holes, have like a rolling station, a dab station, all that kind of thing.
Yes. Like I if you need help with the sponsors and anything, we can talk offline about that. But
Hell
like
yeah.
I've been doing for the past 10 years a charity tournament for my older brother who passed away about 13 years ago, and it's kind of like the same thing, a little more low key now, but it used to be one of those like big, sponsors every hole. You do all it's the whole
Yeah.
giveaway, the whole shebang, dinner, everything. So golf tournaments are so wild.
Yeah.
They're so fun. They're
My
so
home
fun.
my home course up in Troy, they're going through a renovation at the restaurant this year, so we're not gonna have
I heard that from the last episode. $1 million.
yes,
That's fucking awesome.
yeah, so they're gonna put $1 million into the project. It's just that's what they're thinking right now, because they don't really know if they're gonna have to like knock the whole thing down. There's an ice rink and a office attached to it, so it's gonna be interesting to see what happens. But not to have the restaurant up there is gonna be like, that's gonna affect like we might not even have a cart girl this year legally, because the bar was the one who held the license for the cart girl. So I don't know how it's gonna work with the city and everything
I'm
else.
not a lawyer, but I do have a shit ton of bartender friends. But I would assume that the license is with the address of the property. So I think you
Okay.
might be able to because like imagine like if you have a because I think you guys said you'd have food carts or food,
Food trucks, yeah,
right?
food trucks, which would I think
So
would be dope for the tournament, because then people can kind of just get what they want. kind of
Oh
thing.
yeah, it's so there's the course in it's called Rancho Park in Los Angeles. It's actually the most played golf course in uh in the country, like public golf course. It used to host the LA Open back in the 80s, like Nicholas and all those guys played at it, but um their fucking clubhouse has been closed for like 3 years because they're
Damn.
just like renovating it. And they have a food truck and all that shit. They just built a tiki hut outside, like a nice tiki hut that serves as the bar. So I think you guys will be good if you can just
Okay.
build a freestanding structure.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, I mean, it
I
don't
don't know
won't
how
affect
I
me
don't know
any
how
because
close you are. Yeah,
yeah, it won't affect
always
me
bring
any
your beers
because I don't
anyways.
fucking drink. So well, I'll be fine. Just want my
Oh
waters
yeah.
and shit though. Every time I'm out there when it's 100 degrees, in case you're rushing from. I'm usually rushing from work to the course, so I don't stop to have time to stop at the store or whatever and grab something half the time. So
Now
I'm
I
always
got a
opening the
question for
cart though.
you. I got a question for you in the New York golf game. Because Rancho Park reminded me of a story. I feel like I should tell you as a golfer, but I want to ask you this question first. But what's the like the tee time situation like? If you
Up
can like,
here.
yeah, like up here I mean, it's probably the same thing. But like, can you get tee times? Like, do you always like see like, damn, all the fucking good tee times are gone? Like, what's it look like for you?
So for me,
I know it's
uh,
harder too because it's the summer, so everyone wants to play. It's not like LA where we can play all the time. So I do get that part.
so my Sundays I'm pretty much taken care of. We have that 9 to 9:15 T block, like we're locked up for those three tee times right there.
Oh,
Um,
fuck
so
yeah.
that's because like I'm at the course literally 5 to 6 days a week. Like I bring people to the course. I make sure the course is taken care of. I take care of the people around the course because they take care of me, kind of thing. Great relationship over there. But like it's not too bad up here as it is. I know kind of where you're going with the California thing because I remember the stories in the news. But like
Oh, you do?
yeah, so like the 12, like I'm usually like to play golf around 12 o'clock. I don't usually have a problem getting a tee time. And I go online all any other time I play besides Sunday, I book my own tee time. Like I book it just like every other person would. So it's pretty much just in the afternoons you can't get a tee time because of leagues. There's a lot of like you can't get a time until 4:30, 5 o'clock ish. So if you want to play between like 2 and 4, 4,
That's those
4:30.
those are money times. That's like the perfect time.
Yeah, that's when all
I
the
mean
leagues are playing.
okay. Well, that's good to know. But so leads into my question is so like about LA is it's brutal. Like you cannot find tea time. So like it sounds like you've read those stories out of LA Times with the tea times.
Hmm. Yeah, I had a
So
couple guests on. I was talking
you have
to
Dave,
like,
did you have Dave?
no, I
Did you
tried
have
to get
Dave
him on.
Finks?
No, I didn't have
Oh
him
well,
on.
I'll get him on. I'll talk to him because
Okay.
so the origin of that is me and my friend Josh Hill were the ones who told Dave about this.
Oh no shit. Okay.
Yeah. So the story goes is that Josh, my friend Josh Hill, he is a director of photography for like music videos and shit. Really good golfer. It's like 5 handicap, started playing like 3 years ago. Like
Wow.
don't you just hate those type of people?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Great swing, draws it just whatever. So we were getting fed up because he is a director of photography. Like he'll go on shoots for 2 weeks and he's off for a month and whatnot. So he golfs all the time. So he in LA, you have to basically like stay up till 12:01 to get those open tee times, and he would do that. Couldn't find them, so he ended up just being like, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna go to the chipping range, whatever, and do all that shit." And again, like when I tell the story, I always like, I'm not trying to point out any one such group
Yeah.
in terms of ethnicity,
Yeah.
but you just call it like you see it. So he was just like, "Damn, there's a shit ton of Asian, Korean
Hmm.
groups here. Like every single time, like Monday, Tuesday, they're always here. Great tea times in the morning." So he goes around and starts asking a bunch of them, and they're all just like, "No, not gonna say anything." But then one guy actually does. "Oh yeah, I get it from my tea time broker."
Yep. Yep.
And it was just, and that's kind of like he told me that story. And then we went to our group golf chat. And we were like, we gotta fucking do something about this. And then at the time, Dave Finks was getting real hot on Instagram and Twitter. He's a great dude. I love him. We just like tell him, and and like a group chat. I'm like, hey, yo, me and Josh kind of found this out. You should, you have the platform. Maybe you should run with this. And all that happened. And I said on the side that Josh was like, fuck, we just let the floodgates open. So turned to the whole thing of like going to city councils, LA Times articles, news articles. And it completely changed everything. Cause like, it was wildly like, not to say like, I'm not calling out LA Golf, City Golf for being corrupt or anything. I have nothing to substance.
So what was it? It was like bots were getting all the tee times, right? Like someone had a bot system or something like that.
So essentially, we thought it was bots at first because, like, again, we're not calling anyone out, but it's like you assume that they could someone's programming something.
Right.
Because, like, it's insane. They're never there. 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. at every single LA City course, which there's like 13 of them. No, couldn't get out.
That's crazy. It's crazy.
And again, we're like, it's like $70, $80 rounds, too. They're expensive. Fuck. So it's like, how? It was essentially what you do is, you have a tiered system of if you're an LA City Golf member, regular like our age, and there's senior members. So senior members, for some reason, get a longer advance time to book tee times.
Okay.
With their code. So in the Asian community, apparently there's just a shit ton of old people who don't golf. So guys in that community would sign these people up.
Yeah.
Get the codes, and then he would have a Rolodex of codes. And then boom, he'd get all the codes with the 10-day advance comparative to my 7-day advance as a regular one. And then from there, he would then sell off the tee times at a $40 a pop to his community.
That
And again, this is a community that is pretty tight knit. So also huge language barrier. So that was just that way it was, and that's just the way it went.
Wow.
I was making $8,000 a month, and that's just one guy.
Crazy.
So then Dave did his detective work, and there's a whole YouTube video on him calling him and like the whole thing. So it was a nuts thing. So it was a huge like shakeup in LA golf because it's a hugely densely populated there with not a lot of space for golf. So it was a crazy little thing, man. It was hilarious to like just see like what happened, like what did we do?
I remember this, dude. Like, because I remember, I think it was like in the whole peak of it, and then like someone was supposed to reach out to him for me, like back then, and like. They didn't. I don't know if they did or not. I'm not one of those people. Like I try not to be a bother, so I didn't really follow up back then on it because the story kind of faded out at that point. But yeah, that's never really an issue up here because, I mean, depending on what time you're trying to get out there, I guess too. It really depends. Like,
no, yeah, I mean, we're just annoyed.
Yeah, that had to suck. Think about it. You go to your job every day. You want to get out and play around the golf on the weekend, and you can't play until 2:30 in the afternoon on a Saturday. Like that's kind of like a shitty
your
time
day
to get out there.
And yeah, you have to add in 2 hours of driving, the hour warm up, whatever. Your day shot, and that was my whole thing. It was like I don't care. Like the only time you could play was during the tournaments with our league during those like morning times. So it was just like I don't care. Just give us some. Like just like let us have some.
But what a scam, dude! What a scam,
dude! What a rat, dude! Because the business didn't care because they were still getting paid.
They were getting paid. Yeah, that money was coming in for them no matter what.
Yeah, the tee sheet's full. I don't care who got it, how they got it. It's insane.
In every course, that's fucking nuts, man. That's absolutely.
It was crazy, man. Absolutely nuts. It's still full, but like still, like they were like, I would assume their community was just like. Fuck.
Right.
Jig is up.
They got us.
Yeah.
Got us.
You got us.
Fuck it. So, Jack, man, I'd like to wrap up with 3 questions, man. I'm going to mix it up with you a little bit because you're a little bit comfortable with the cannabis. So we'll ask a couple cannabis questions as well. But let's start off with a golf one. What's your favorite club in your bag?
8 iron.
Okay. Mine's my 7, so I get it.
8 iron. 8 iron. I don't hit it far. I hit it like maybe like 250 because it's fade spin, and I just for some reason 8 iron is always like 250.
Your 8 iron, you hit 250.
No. I like my drive. No, I hit my drive 250. So I always end up like with like an 8 iron. And so it's
gotcha.
It's like when you go to the range, like people who hit their entire bag at the range, I'm like, you're fucking nuts. If you're there for an hour, hit 7 and below. That's you're get good at scoring clubs. That's it. That's all I have to say
Yep.
for that. It's just get good at scoring clubs and you'd be so much happier. Driver, everything else, the farther you're down, the better, but that's it. So I would say 8-iron for sure. Then second is my Bettinardi putter. I fucking love that thing.
Okay.
Oh,
We got to
love
get
that.
you a Lombardi putter, man. We got to try out some Lombardi putters. I'll
All
link you
right,
up.
I love putters. I think I have 4 right now, but yeah, ping, 2 pings, Bettinardi. I something else, but yeah, I fucking I love putters. They're
I'll
so
link you
much
up
fun.
with Uncle Paulie, man. He'll send you a
Yes.
putter. He's the
Oh hell
fucking
yeah,
man.
that'd
You
be
ever see
great.
Lombardi putters? He's all over the social media.
I think I've it sounds like I've heard of it. Let me quick check. Let me check real quick while you
Yeah,
fire up the next question.
he's an animal. The guy's everywhere all the time. All right. So the next one, cannabis wise, what's your favorite strain you've ever smoked?
Skywalker OG,
All right.
and
Do you,
especially like in California, the game.
I was
I mean,
just gonna ask, do you miss? What's the difference out here? What's the Cali New York difference? Like, how much is it? Like,
it's the dryness.
okay,
Because everything is so obviously we're still in like the beginnings of regulation and recreational, so like it's all prepackaged. It's so dry.
yep.
Everything I get is so dry because it has to. So right now, that's my biggest thing. Obviously, I'm living with my parents right now too, so can't be burning as much as I want to as much. So, but yeah, I would just say probably just the dryness of it because growing out here in the winter, shipping it across, I'd imagine. I don't know how deep you are into the game around here. But yeah, it's one of those things. I just think it's a dry. I think it's just a dry. Also, the accessibility. Like I never stepped foot in a dispensary.
Oh,
It was
really?
always delivered to me, dude. It was amazing.
Nice. You guys don't have a delivery service down there? A lot of our
No, I don't.
dispensaries up here deliver, which
No,
is pretty
I don't.
cool.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I mean, I think I would have found out by now.
Yeah,
But also,
yeah,
it's like I'm already driving all the time, so it's like whatever.
yeah. Yeah, it's different. Like, so on the legacy side, like the flour it's so much cheaper, like for flour just to get from like old school way. So I still kind of do that thing up here, but like I'll still, do the pre-rolls just to kind of mix it up, try different flavors and shit like that. But vapes, I always prefer to get my vapes from a dispensary now, just because now at least it's tested. You know what you're getting.
I
Like,
can't do vapes, man. It's for me. For me, smoking is like a oral fixation habitual thing. If I
yeah,
get that thing in my hands, like, and I'm in public or at a bar, it's just like I might just the entire time, and it's like fuck, I
it's the
gotta face
convenience
myself
thing, dude.
somehow.
It's the convenience thing of it for sure. Like,
For travel, it's the only thing you need for
yeah,
travel. I
travel,
mean,
dude. Thank goodness for travel. I ended up just going down to Orlando, and I didn't bring any flour with me, and I threw a vape in the bag with me and hope for the best, and it got through, and I was like, yes,
oh,
I need this so bad.
I mean, I hope TSA doesn't listen to your podcast, but like I've been bringing, like I bring a quarter of weed from New York to LA. Like every time I go, like I've walked by like the dogs, like oh fuck, I'm going to jail. No, I'm
Yeah,
done.
yeah,
Just
I'm
walk right
done.
by. Just not, nope, yeah, nothing.
They
So
don't
like,
care no more.
actually, quick thing in the airport, I put 2 spliffs in my ball bag, and I put my balls in my carry on for some reason because I thought the weight dispersion would help with my actual golf bag. They took all the golf balls out of the bag, and there's just 2 joints just standing right there.
Oh my
Did
god,
nothing. They did
no
nothing.
shit.
They looked at me. They looked at me and were just like, "Yeah, we had to check the golf balls because they're hollow." So when I tell you that LAX does not give a fuck
Yeah, I can
about,
imagine what they
they
see
do
too.
not care. Yeah, they do. They're there for bombs and guns. That's
Yep,
strictly it, man.
that's it. And it's crazy how every airport is so much different. Like you don't have to take your shoes off at this one. This one you do. Like
Yeah,
it's crazy. You get leave your iPad out. No, leave. You can keep it in your bag. Boom, boom, boom. It's just like nothing was the same. I've last like 5 times I've traveled. I'm like, what the fuck's going on here?
dude. Could
So,
you imagine traveling back in the day, like in the '70s, and you can smoke on fucking planes?
no, no.
Oh,
Well, even like, dude, I'm 41, so like growing up, they had like a restaurant smoking and non-smoking sections, and all it was a divider. Like, you know what I mean?
yeah,
Like it was sitting in a
yeah. No,
cubicle.
it was just an imaginary wall.
Yeah, that's all it was. Yeah, that's all. You sit at a restaurant, smoke just bellowing over his little kids and shit at like friendlies. Fucking
Love
nuts.
that.
So then my last question, man, is you got three people to round out your dream foursome. Who would they be?
Ooh, all right, I'll go. Outside of my brother, who, as I mentioned, is no longer with us, but outside my brother, because that's just a given. I'll go Mac Miller.
Okay.
Fuck, Mac Miller. Then I'll go Ricky. I think playing with Ricky would be awesome. I just, besides him just being, I've always grown up. I think Ricky would be great. And then I'm gonna go with Derek Jeter.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. It's I love baseball. Jeter's just been like the guy. You know, I mean, are you?
Oh yeah.
I know. Yeah, basically, Jesus the guy. So I think I'd
I
go
haven't watched. I really haven't watched
Jeter.
Yankee baseball since he's retired, man. It's hard to watch without him.
No. I wanted to comment on that. I was like, yo, man, you know what, dude? They're a good team.
Yep.
Living in LA when dude, wasn't even allowed to sit in the same bar as my friends during the World Series. It was that like 10. It was crazy.
Yeah, that's
But
crazy.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm a huge
definitely
Jeter
I'd say
fan. That was
Mac.
my guy.
Oh,
Jeter was awesome.
he's a good. It's crazy. Everyone's golfing. Everyone is golfing. Griffey golfs all
Everybody.
the time now. Yeah, all the time. They all have tournaments too now. It's
That's
crazy.
like
And they're all sponsored by Jordan.
yeah, Jordan. Yeah, he loves the shit. So my three are Jason Williams, White Chocolate, used to play for like the Sacramento Kings back in the day.
Yep, I know.
That's my dude now. He's smoking, golfing. Like it's so funny. Like I literally like watching him play hoop and shit. It was exactly how I played as a kid growing up. Throwing the no look pass and all that shit.
Dude, when he tosses just a dink with the elbow.
Dude, I had that perfected in like 2 or 3 days after that. I was just kept practicing and practicing. It's
Also him handling in just like the baggiest clothes.
Mm-hmm.
Insane.
Yeah, he was a straight
How
and
do you
one
do
street baller, dude. He was super dope. And then I had Method Man, and then Joe Rogan was my third.
I guess I missed the Joe Rogan train. He's super interesting. I just missed it, but I can see him just absolutely lighting up a huge golf club size blunt and just like let's get mindful with this.
Yeah, I would just because of the people he spoke to, and like I would really like to get like his opinion on like, all right, what did you think? Was this guy bullshit? Did you like his side of it, kind of thing?
Yeah.
Which he doesn't talk about. You know what I mean? He interviews the people, but you don't really get his thoughts of what he thinks of the people, kind of thing.
Dude, they go down a crazy rabbit hole.
Oh
like
yeah,
every time. It's incredible. I just don't have the attention span for like 3 hours on YouTube, and it's like, oh man, like what? Neil ties to Christ and all. It's incredible what he does. It's great. No, I like that for so that's great. You got
I'm a big fan of comedy, so I always like that he has all the stand-up comedians and shit come through in that aspect of it too. I guess so. Always been a big fan of comedy.
They love to come through and they just rip blunts and do. Honestly, they do whatever they want on that show.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
Him, Theo Vaughn's he's hilarious. So there's a lot of them out there. I've been Sam Tripoli. I'm a big conspiracy guy. We just started we just started a conspiracy podcast, me and a couple buddies, Conspiracy Chaos. We got like 3 or 4 episodes recorded that we're slowly leaking out here. They're on YouTube right now. So
all right, yeah, no, I'll check. I don't know if I'm a conspiracy. I'm just like, I don't care.
Yeah, there's a lot of that.
If they're aliens here, bro, fine.
They've probably been here forever. They've been here for fucking ever, man.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
No doubt, bro. Yo, but Jack, man, I really appreciate your time. Why don't you let the listeners know where they can find you?
Yeah, man, you can find me on Instagram, not on TikTok. I mean, you can find me on TikTok, but you can find me on Instagram mainly at Golf Buccaneer. Trying to push out as much content as I possibly can right now. But it's cold as fuck as we're talking about here. But yeah, you find me there. As I said, just continuing to make bags, and you want one, go let me know. I'll make it for you. But other than that, really do appreciate the time, dude. This is awesome. I think it's my first time doing one of these.
We'll collab on something once obviously the weather warms up here.
For sure, dude. I will definitely make the trip up to Troy.
Yeah, we'll definitely on a Sunday or something. We'll get some extra tee times and make an event out of it.
Fuck yeah, dude. That sounds awesome.
All right, buddy. Great chatting with you. Everybody go check him out at the Golf Buccaneer. And we appreciate you tuning in. We'll check in with you on Tuesday.
At Golf Buccaneer. There's no the.
All right, my bad. All right.
I do that all the time too, dude. Don't worry, man. I do it all the time.
Gotcha. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate everybody tuning in. We'll talk to you on Tuesday. Later.
Car cruising, we're the illest team. Pitch, put and puff, light it up, hit the rough. Every swing's a story, we can't get enough. Hazards and hard times, we know it's tough, but we live for the game, fam, that's our stuff. Got my clubs in the trunk, blunt in the front, tee off in the noon, cause we don't bunt. Discuss in the course, weed strains for lunch. Straight shooters on the greens, not a front. Pitch, put and puff, light it up, hit the rough. Every swing's a story, we can't get enough. Hazards and hard times, we know it's tough, but we live for the game, fam, that's our stuff. Smoking aces, laces tied tight. With a puff we fly, elevate the night. Golf ball soaring, higher than a kite. Fairway to heaven, shining real bright. Pitch, put and puff, light it up, hit the rough. Every swing's a story, we can't get enough. Hazards and hard times, we know it's tough, but we live for the game, fam, that's our stuff.